Hey everybody, it's Mike Frieder here with On-Call Compliance Solutions, and I'm back with another compliance tip of the week. Today we're talking about NIST SP 800-171 Control 3.1.6. Use non-privileged accounts or roles when accessing non-security functions. What in the world is this control? And why is it important? So hey, if you're a defense contractor who's feeling overwhelmed, tired, and alone, trying to understand all of this DFARS, NIST SP 800-171, and CMMC compliance stuff, I've got great news for you. You've found your home here at On-Call Compliance Solutions, where we can help you transform into your company's on-call compliance hero. And who doesn't want to be a hero? Let's jump into it. So, NIST SP 800-171 Control 3.1.6. Use non-privileged accounts or roles when accessing non-security functions. What is this control, and why is it important? Well, NIST SP 800-171 Control 3.1.6 focuses on restricting access to sensitive systems and information by ensuring that users utilize non-privileged accounts or roles when accessing non-security functions. The key points are non-privileged accounts. These are user accounts that have limited permissions and do not grant access to administrative or high-level functions. Non-security functions. These are tasks or functions that do not involve sensitive or critical operations, such as regular daily activities that do not require elevated privileges, i.e., a basic user account shouldn't be able to do much but execute the programs that they're specifically authorized to do. A privileged account can do a whole lot more. Now, the importance of Control 3.1.6. Number one, it minimizes risk. Huge, of course, all the controls minimize risk, but it can't be understated how important it is here. Restricting the use of privileged accounts helps to minimize the risk of accidental or malicious misuse of powerful administrative capabilities. Privileged accounts typically have access to critical configurations and sensitive data, making them prime targets for attackers. Limit attack surface. If an attacker gains access to a non-privileged account, they have fewer opportunities to compromise critical systems, as the account lacks elevated permissions. This reduces the attack surface. Huge. Reduces errors. Using non-privileged accounts for non-security tasks helps to prevent accidental misconfigurations or changes to sensitive systems, which could lead to security vulnerabilities or system downtime. Compliance and best practices. This control is aligned with cybersecurity best practices and helps organizations meet compliance requirements for protecting controlled unclassified information. Implementing this control is essential to maintaining a robust security posture and ensuring that access is tightly controlled based on user roles and the principle of least privilege. So, why would you have a separate user account and admin account for an IT admin? How does that make things more secure? Well, having separate user and admin accounts for an IT administrator enhances security by reducing the risk of accidental or malicious changes to systems and limiting the potential damage if an account is compromised. I mean, here's a breakdown of how the separation improves security. One is it minimizes exposure to attacks. Reduced privilege exposure. When an IT admin performs day-to-day tasks using a non-privileged user account, i.e. browsing the web, checking email, etc., well, the risk of being exposed to malware, phishing, or other attack vectors is reduced. If their user account is compromised, the attacker does not immediately have administrative privileges over the system or network. Limits lateral movement. Even if an attacker gains access to the user account, they wouldn't be able to escalate privileges easily because the admin account is separate and presumably protected, i.e. with multi-factor authentication or other measures. Next, it reduces accidental misuse. Ooh, this is a big one. Prevents mistakes. Hey, I know IT admins, if you're watching this video, hey, we all make mistakes. Admin accounts have the power to make critical changes to systems, i.e. changing configurations, installing software, or deleting important files. By limiting admin account usage to only necessary tasks, you reduce the likelihood that an administrator will accidentally perform a destructive action or misconfigure a system while performing routine non-administrative tasks. It encourages careful behavior. Logging into an admin account only when performing specific administrative tasks promotes more deliberate actions. Admins are more likely to be cautious and intentional when using an account with elevated privileges. 3, improves audit and accountability. Clear audit trails separating accounts ensures that there is a clear audit trail of when privileged actions were taken and by whom. If a system or configuration change happens, it will be traceable back to the correct account, helping you identify who made changes and when. Compliance requirement. Many cybersecurity frameworks like NIST SP 800-171 and ISO 27001 and regulations such as PCI DSS or HIPAA require strong access control measures and clear auditing. Using separate accounts for admin and non-admin tasks helps meet these compliance requirements. Next up, limiting the attack surface. less privilege used day-to-day privilege accounts are, boy, I just butchered that one, didn't I? Sorry, guys. I know, it's like a lot of technical stuff to get through. Limits the attack surface. Less privilege used day-to-day. Privileged accounts are prime targets for attackers because they provide access to sensitive configurations and systems. If the admin only uses their privileged account for specific tasks, this reduces the window of opportunity for an attacker to compromise those accounts. Compartmentalization. Even if an attacker compromises the user account, they still have to breach additional layers of security in order to access the admin account, which should be protected by stronger security measures like multi-factor authentication. Now, you and I both know that if a user, even a basic user, is accessing CUI over a network, well, then they've got to have MFA involved anyway. But again, the idea is there. So number 5, encourages the principle of least privilege. Applies least privilege in practice. The principle of least privilege is one of the core tenets of cybersecurity. It means that users should have the minimum level of access necessary to perform their tasks. By requiring IT admins to use a standard user account for regular activities, you enforce this principle. The admin account should only be used for actions that specifically require elevated permissions. Reduces risk of privilege escalation. If a user account is compromised, there is no direct escalation to privileged activities. The attacker would need to breach the additional layer of admin account, which ideally has, well, stronger precautions or protections. Protections, whatever, it's protections. 6, stronger security controls on admin accounts. Additional safeguards. Admin accounts are likely to have more stringent security policies applied to them, i.e. stricter password requirements, multi-factor authentication, and by separating accounts, you can focus these stronger protections on the admin accounts without hindering the usability of the non-privileged accounts used for the day-to-day work as much as possible. Now again, we have this minimum layer of security, which definitely includes MFA if you're going to access CUI over a network, but the point is, there could be more security precautions too. Example scenario of the benefit. So consider an IT admin is using their admin account for all tasks. They check their emails while logged in as an admin. They accidentally click on a phishing email, unknowingly execute malware, and since they are using their admin account, the malware now has access to the system with administrative privileges and can compromise critical systems. Yuck. Now, if the IT admin had been using a non-privileged user account to check their email, they check the same email but are using a non-privileged account. Even if they accidentally click on the phishing link, the malware is limited to the permissions of a standard user account. So the attacker is unable to immediately access critical systems or sensitive data, significantly reducing the damage. And of course, you're probably going to notice weird stuff going on with the system, CPUs maxing out, all kinds of strange things. Again, Steam system might catch it too because it's a foreign connection. So in conclusion, separating user and admin accounts reduces the likelihood of successful attacks, limits accidental damage, improves accountability, and enforces security best practices. This creates a layered defense where the compromise of one account doesn't immediately lead to a total system breach. So it's actually really important. So if you're one of those lazy IT admins that does everything with your admin account, it's time to stop. So, hey, if you're struggling with this, or if you're an IT admin and this stuff is kind of foreign to you, or ultimately you just really need to get compliant fast so you can win that defense work, I have good news. Because at On Call, we take defense contractors who have had this DFARS, NIST, CMMC, ITAR, and EAR, information security compliance stuff, dropped in their laps like a seagull on a sunny day. And we teach you how to level up and be a proper on-call compliance hero for your company, eliminating gaps, gray areas, and getting this solved, all while showing you how to leverage compliance as your secret weapon to land and expand more defense work with higher profit margins. Now that's what becoming an on-call compliance hero can do for you. So put on your capes. Let's go, baby. Looking for more help getting compliant? Our compliance experts are always on call for you. Visit CMMCComplianceSecrets.com or check out the description below for links to get help right now. And if you love the content we're putting out here for you, help us out. I'm begging you, help us out. Seriously, we need it. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, look, you know what? 2 million plus views strong? Hoorah, I'm all about it. You know what? Thank you guys for watching these videos, and especially a double thank you if you're still watching the video. Well, honestly, we're giving ourselves a little pat on the back. Ultimately, that is what pays the bills, you guys. That's how we're able to divvy out all this free help. So, listen, until the next compliance tip, my friends, stay safe and secure out there. Hit us in the comments below. Let us know what you'd like to know more about. Smash the subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.